Your squad mates are on station.
Took a round.
Squad tracking your position.
Throwing shock stick. I need small cam rounds. Got another.
Alright guys, so today I'm going to be talking about how I get no recoil in Warzone. This is specifically towards me. This is the way I do things, and it really has improved my aim over the years in the past Warzone and this one as well. So I'm going to be going over like the settings and certain things that I do to help me get the best aim possible, and with almost any gun I can really control the recoil very well. So the first thing I will say, not a lot of players do this, I'm one of the only players that does do this, is I play on linear response curve. So this is very important because this is the direct input that is going into the controller compared to dynamic and standard, and that helps me gain full control of my muscle memory to be able to go and shoot people. So if I'm going and training my aims to get more headshots, chest shots, and all that stuff, I'm gonna have such a better time remembering how to control the recoil because it's a direct pattern from when I always did it. Alright, so I usually do a simple drill with this too. So what I do is I try to hit all headshots on each of the target, and then over and over and over I'm just trying to hit as many shots as I can while controlling that recoil. And what that's going to do is going to get you used to the linear response curve and how low or high you should aim your gun so that you can be able to control recoil on any of the guns that you're shooting at. So it looks a little bit like this. Bam. Alright, so it's a very simple drill. Aim and shoot at all their heads and do it over and over and over. And then once you do it like all the time, you're gonna be like hitting more headshots. And also too with the movement, so I use linear because it like gives me like faster moving around corners and stuff like that. So training the muscle memory for the movement is also going to give you faster reactions so that you're able to move around like that. So it really speeds up everything, and that's how I usually get a lot of fast movement with like really good accuracy and recoil with that. Another thing that I do that not everybody does, I know a lot of people might do it, but not everyone does this, is no matter what sensitivity I play on, I always have the ADS multiplier on 1. So what this is going to do is this is going to match the vertical and horizontal sensitivity that you currently have, so that you're going to be able to have a smooth rhythm and transition to when you're aiming your weapon and going back to the hip fire. Alright, so that makes everything like fluent because it's at that 1 multiplier and it's not changing anything else. Alright, so I'm able to zoom in and out like that. So that's another reason why I'm able to control the recoil really well and transition to different targets. Something I never really talked about in any of my videos, and I do this once in a while, is if I enter a room, sometimes like I go in the room real quick, go backwards, and then peek in instead of just running in and peeking in. And I don't just do this to avoid gunfire and just not get shot. The main reason I do this is because I want to re-censor my weapon. So we all know centering, right? If you're centering onto a target, it's the easiest way and fastest way to kill somebody. But if I run into a room and I'm immediately not centered onto the person, I don't want to center while I'm in the open because that's going to give him more time to kill me and I might mess up my aim that way. So sometimes I do back out and then go back in and recenter so that I can not only have a faster time of killing the target, but it gives me more of the aim assist because instead of locking onto his legs or his head or anything like that, I'm able to lock onto his chest, and it really helps me have that stronger aim assist inside the middle of his body. Another thing that I use to actually control recoil is drop shotting. I don't just do that just to avoid being hit. But if I drop shot and get down, this is the stance where you're going to be able to control recoil the best. So if you're standing up, your gun sway is just going to be a little bit like that, you know, the gun's moving a tiny bit. And then when you're on the ground, it's really still for the most part. So no matter what gun you use, the lower you are, the lower the hip fire reticle is, and the lower recoil you're going to have with that weapon. So sometimes I drop shot don't even get up all the way, and when I'm able to shoot there, I'm able to control the recoil really good. To demonstrate this too, like see this guy all the way out here. So this is me shooting the target standing up, right? Okay, not the best thing. Kind of hard to hit. All right, and then laying down, I have a much easier time shooting at him because I have the smaller reticle, easier to center and control recoil. All right, and that was like super simple and super easy to kill right there. But if I do that same exact thing like this, for some reason it's just a little harder for me to shoot up. So I usually get down just so I can control that recoil a little better, and that helps me also hit more shots. So it's not just a movement thing, it's also an aim thing when I do drop shot. Another good way to really practice your aim in this game too is to practice your centering, and the way I do it in the firing range is a little different. So yeah, I do have drills where I just aim at them and shoot them like that, like really simple to do. But also too, this is really important to actually getting better positioned onto shooting your target. So what I do is I pop out and shoot this guy, then pop back in, then I pop out, shoot that guy, go back in, and pop out and shoot that guy. And what that does is you're going to get used to being behind cover and immediately popping out to center at that chest, right? So this right here, there, reload, and then like I'm going like this, right, just to center onto his chest right there, just like that. All right, so like popping out, popping back in. You want to really get used to that motion of just going like this, because that's really going to help your aim, so that once you pop out, boom, you're right there. All right, so like all of those combined is like the main things that I have in the back of my head and that are practiced over and over to where I don't even think about it, to really have great recoil control and like faster, I guess, reaction timing too on aiming to the target and making sure I hit all my shots. And like I said too, for me personally, using the linear response curve, I feel like it just trains it better, and I can have more of that muscle memory to connect with the targets. And dynamic is amazing. I still love using dynamic. It's still really good if you're trying to be really good at the game. But just for me personally, like I really love using linear, and I feel that it really connects my shots a lot better than if I was using dynamic.